Good morning, everybody. Let's get it going. Like and share, like and share. Let's see who we have with us this morning. I know that y'all are there. I love y'all. I'm excited. I have looked up and I've seen all of our YouTube following increasing. So thank you guys so much for that. Good morning, Juanita. Good morning, my love. I hope you're having a great morning already. Good morning. Do like and share as you come on. Like and share. Please, please, please tag a friend. Say, hey, she is on. It's time to get this day started. I'm excited, guys. I hope you are, because it's Wisdom Wednesday. Of course, it's like, gosh, you're getting tongue-tied. I know it's a trip, right? Good morning. Thank y'all for being on. Good morning, everybody. Hey. I hope your yesterday was awesome. Good morning. Yes. Hey, Felicia. Hey, James. Good morning. Hey, Tiff. Good morning. Thank you for being on. Let me go ahead and put that to the side. Good morning, guys. It's Wednesday. Yes. This Wednesday, guys, I have somebody he's near and dear to my heart. I met him like 12 years ago. So when y'all hear him, it's going to be pretty awesome. Y'all going to be fed the way I was when I first met him. So good morning. Hey, Mom. Good morning. Tag a friend. Yes, and yes. Good morning. Hey, Rutho. Good morning. Those ladies brought a word this morning on the God Zone. Thank y'all for tuning in and jumping on. Hey, Linda in Miami. Good morning. Thank you for being on. Please go ahead and like and share, guys. Like and share, because we want to make sure that the words that are going to be spoken on this morning, that they are heard by everybody who is supposed to hear them. We do not want to keep it to ourselves. And I just want to, before we even go into it, I want to say thank you to everybody, because your response to the Freedom by Design movement has been great, because this is our movement, not my movement. This is about us. This is about us doing what we need to do, being able to be fed, engaged, encouraged, and empowered. So thank you guys for everything that you're doing. We have some great things in store. Good morning. Yes. I see you over there, Ruth. I see you, Tiff. Good morning. And we do share, and you can see the video on my live feed, but we also put it on our YouTube channel. So if you want to jump over there, I have some people who have family members that might not be on social media, but they can get on YouTube. So good morning. Hey, Jean. Hey, Giselle. Woo, so let's jump right into it, guys. So this morning, and for those of you who are new, my name is Dr. K. I'm the founder of Freedom by Design, but it's our movement, not just mine. He just put it in me, I birthed it, and now we all gonna carry this thing. So this morning, our topic is the underdog. So yeah, behind me, you see the image of David and Goliath. You see the rock being thrown. And yesterday, I had an opportunity to have a brief conversation with this morning's guest. And he's not a person that I just met, but, you know, just having a conversation, because we would see each other from time to time as our paths crossed in education, because he's not an educator, but a teacher, but he empowers youth, and he has a passion for it. And not just youth, everybody, but y'all will see that in a second. But, you know, in our conversation, you know, a consistent theme kept coming up, the underdog, as we compared our life stories and our journeys, you know, where we started. And I remember saying to him, I was like, you know, by all accounts, I'm not supposed to be here. And he said, no, you are supposed to be here. Statistically, based on what statistics say, we're not supposed to be here, but God, and we overcame the odds. And with that being said, the Holy Spirit led me to read 1 Samuel 17, which is a familiar story for us with David and Goliath, where we got a teenage boy who, by all accounts, was no match for this Philistine giant, or for this giant that was representing the Philistine army, and everybody else was afraid. But David knew what God had done for him, and he was like, you know what? I can do it. I'll take on this giant. And he defeated the giant with nothing more than a slingshot and a smooth stone, which is it's in alignment with what me and the guests will speak about today, because when you come from humble beginnings, it looks different. Your focus, you're driven, you're like, I'm going to get it done by any means necessary, but not just for me. I'm going to do it for other people, for the people who are going to come behind me. And with that being said, I want to go ahead and introduce and invite my guest to come on screen so we can share. He can see y'all and y'all can see him. He is none other than JR Henderson. He is a entrepreneur and he is a business consultant, and he is my brother from another mother. JR, are you there?
What's going on? What's up? What's up, Trina? How are you? How are you?
I'm doing well this morning. First, let me say thank you so much. I am so grateful that you thought it not robbery to come on and share this morning, because I know time is valuable and your time is valuable. So thank you so much.
Definitely. First and foremost, I would like to thank you not only for this opportunity, but I also thank you for staying on the wall. And when I say stand on the wall, I thank you for doing the work, not of you, but doing the work of God, and being humble and being available. The thing about it is, what we know is that the early bird get the worm. And so I know we've heard of that before, but 7:30 this morning, we're going to get some work. And so for those of you that are up, I encourage you to go wake some other people up, because you never know who's sleep. And the thing about sleep can be the enemy, especially if you're sleeping too late. So if there's anybody on this call, anybody on this this live session, I would really encourage you, if you have young people in your life, go wake them up. If you have men in your life, you tell them to get up. If you have people that aren't working, tell them to get up. You got children, tell them to get up, because this morning you're going to get that work. And so what I want you to understand is that Miss Flukas, she said that this day's session is about the underdog. And what we understand about the underdog, the only thing that I know and that I can accept about being the underdog is that it's just an opportunity to go up. Because if you're the underdog, that means you under. And if you under, what I've always, there's a movie, Rocky, there's a movie where Rocky, he goes back to boxing after he retired. And so he's talking to his son, because his son grows up and they're having a conversation about him fighting. And the thing about Rocky, if you understand and if you looked at it before, it's nothing about fighting. Fighting is always about life. So you got to be able to look at it. So he told his son, when his son told him that, Dad, all is lost, he told his son, he said, son, let me tell you something. Life ain't about how hard you can hit, but life is about how hard you can get hit. And not only whether you can get hit, but when you get hit and fall, whether or not you can get back up. Get back up and keep going. So the secret to being the underdog, it ain't nothing about, there's something special about me. The secret about being the underdog is not that it's something special about Trina. It's just that at the end of the day, what we understand is that we cannot quit. So today I encourage everybody on this call to tune in and to understand that today we're not quitters, we winners. And what we're going to talk about is what we call asset-driven strategies. We can talk about all day long about what happened bad and what happened and how, the dropout rate is 50%. And we can talk about how many children aren't doing well. And we can talk about how many men in prison. And we can talk about how many men not taking care of their children. But guess what? When we flip it, and when we start talking about the benefits of taking care of your children, the benefits of getting up in the morning and going to work, the benefits of taking care of your responsibilities as a man, the benefits of, as a woman, taking care of your responsibility, when we start talking about that and we frame it into a positive discussion, I think, girl, we can really make some stuff happen. So I'm excited this morning, as you see.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm looking at the comments. I see Bernadette. She was like, JR, you are amazing, because Trina talks about you all the time and your excellence, because I'm always bragging on you. I'm looking at
appreciate that, girl. I appreciate that, and to God be the glory.
Yes. JR, we met about 12 years ago when I first came into APS, and I remember my first time seeing you, I was working at Kennedy Middle School, and I was, you know how Kennedy is set up, you can look down in the auditorium, and all those kids were there. So many kids who other people had given up on, but I saw your passion and how you, when you spoke to them, they stopped. Where other people, they would just continue, but those kids stopped. They were tuned in. Just give us some background on where you came from and how you were able to have that, how you have that connection with kids. What is it that drives you to make you say, you know what, I'm gonna, where they gave up, I'm not gonna give up, I'm gonna pour into?
Definitely, definitely. So if you look at my humble beginning, I have a really humble beginning. I'm born and raised in Grady Hospital. I grew up in Adamsville, and then I was in foster care because my mother and father were on crack. So I spent most of my time in foster care. So I went through a whole lot. And I'm gonna tell you something, Trina. I think my defining moment, I can remember one day I was in foster care, and I actually shared this on my Facebook as well. So I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of my family members probably hadn't heard this story, and they follow me. So I'll tell this story for the first time for my family. So when I was in foster care, and you know what DFACS does is they try to find someone to take care of you that's in your family. And so I was actually, I was sent to stay with an aunt. And so while I'm staying with this aunt, and I actually only stayed with her for one weekend, but it was a Friday night. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And what my family did on Fridays, they fried fish, they drank. And I can remember after the fish fry, I was in the living room. My aunt came in the living room, and she asked me, she said, "Hey boy, what you gonna do with your life?"
Mm.
I told her, I said, "Aunt Ann, I said, I'm going to college." And she said that you can't go to college. Quit trying to be better than where you come from.
Mm.
Your mama wasn't nothing, your daddy wasn't nothing. Quit trying to be better than where you come from.
Come on now.
So I'm gonna tell you something. That was a defining moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was a defining moment for me. Two things. And the first one is my experience, and the second one is your experience. When I say your experience, I'm talking about the people that are listening. So my experience was this. What I recognized and realized really young, and I was about 11 or 12 then. I recognized really young that my past doesn't dictate my future. And I recognized and realized really young that the people that hate on you or the people that tell you what you can't do, those people are just as important as the people that lead you the right way.
All right now.
Because those are people that teach us. They teach us that, hey, I want you to hate, but me, I'm gonna live above that hate. And so what I said, that was for me and for you, and I need you to listen to this. Anybody that's ever been in a situation, anybody out there that's in any bad situation where people dictate your future, everybody that counted you out, they can't count.
Ooh.
Everybody that counted you out, they cannot count.
All right now.
1 + 1 = 2, but not God 1 + 1. God 1 + 1, it equals whatever it is that he has destined for you. And what I need you to do on this line is I need you to believe. The thing about it is we get caught up in our feelings sometimes. So feelings they dictate our moves, and they dictate our moments, and they dictate a lot of different things that we do or that we say, because if something good happened to you, you feel good. If something bad happened to you, you feel bad. And so when people count you out, and when you the underdog, and when you in a bad place, don't let your feelings dictate your actions. Because if we get caught up in our feelings, we'll never be successful. See, your feelings are a depiction of what you've been through and what you're going through, right? That's your feelings. But what we got to understand is, well, we got to live beyond what we going through and what we've been through. Because if I can talk to you all day blue and black about what I've been through, and my mama on crack and my daddy on crack, and I was abused, and I was tossed to this foster home or to that foster home, and this happened to me and that happened to me, and I had all these unfortunate situations, I can get caught up in that. But if I get caught up in that, you'll never see the power of God. You'll never see the blessings of God. So what we got to do is we got to understand that our feelings are our present and our history. But what we need to focus on is not our feelings, but we need to focus on our future. When you focus on your future and you get out your feelings, I used to tell them kids when back in the day, that used to be the word, get out your feelings. Because when you in your feelings, ain't no telling what you gonna do.
How about that?
But when you in your future and you in your bag, then that's when you can start to turn from being the underdog to being the individual that looks after the underdog, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Thank you so much. I wrote down here when you said 1 + 1 = 2, but not with God. I'm like, that's that miracle math that he got. It doesn't even work. You know what, JR? Something else, and you know, my guests, of course, some of them know you because we have some mutual friends, but talk to us about the business and the entrepreneur aspect, because have you ever worked for somebody, or you've always been an entrepreneur?
No, so look, this is something, right? I actually, when I graduated from college, I graduated from Payne in 2000. And so when I graduated from Payne College, matter of fact, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Senior year at Payne College, I'm sitting in the dormitory. We had a party the night before, the bros. And so in the morning, you have to get up early in the morning and clean up the yard. And so we had just finished cleaning up the yard because when day breaks at Payne, the yard needed to be clean. So we had just got finished cleaning up the yard, and I'm sitting in the lobby in my dormitory, and I'm watching Georgia Public Television, or Georgia Public Television watching me, right? And so they're doing a special on historical lighthouses. And they talked about how lighthouses served as light for ships in the dark. And they said that ships could not import and export at night without lighthouses, right? And so I'm like, Saturday morning, I'm minding my business. I'm thinking about, at best, graduation, and after graduation, going and working, right?
Come on now.
So boom, God dropped something on my spirit, lighthouse. And so at that very moment, my first company was born, the Lighthouse Foundation. And so I went through foster care, and God gave me the vision that the Lighthouse Foundation is an organization that'll help people maneuver during dark seasons. And so that's how Lighthouse Foundation began in 1999. And so when I graduated in 2000, I actually incorporated it, got 501c3 later, and started several businesses after that. But in 2000, I actually worked for the Department of Labor at the same time. And so I worked for the Georgia Department of Labor. A lot of people didn't know this. I worked for the Georgia Department of Labor as the director of prisoner reentry for the state of Georgia, and I left in 2013. So what would happen is I worked almost every weekend. And then during the week, I worked, if I worked a day, most days I worked, it was a 12-hour day, because if I had to travel to a prison, and so I had a lot of flex time. And so when you would see me, I would just be flexing my time. I had a position. I didn't leave full-time employment until 2013. And what I tell people and encourage people, look, let me tell you something. God did bless me with a gift to be an entrepreneur, but he also blessed me with a gift of having a family that I have to take care of. And so I couldn't just say, hey, I can just start and be an entrepreneur off the bat. I needed to wait till I learned. That's the one thing about, if you want to be an entrepreneur, know that you got to do your research. And one thing I don't do the and I'm sorry if this is inappropriate, but I don't do the black business stuff. I don't like the black business stuff. The black business stuff is the cheap stuff. You just you get your friend to hook you up, and when your friend, they hook you up when they are available, or they'll do your website, and then when you need updates, you can't get updates because your friend is busy. And I tell people that the key to being an entrepreneur is start when you're ready. And when I say start when you're ready, if you can't do it, don't do it. Don't do it, because if you step out there, you'll mess up your customer base. You can have a gift that God gave you, right? And you'll stifle your gift because you did not take your time to do it the right way. You did not take your time to do your research. And then you didn't take your time to also go find a mentor. So there's a lot of different things that I had to do. 13 years. And check this out. 13 is my number. I'm actually working on a body of work called the Lucky Number 13. And so I was born on October the 13th. And a lot of different things happened to me with that number 13. And everybody always say 13 is a bad number, but I think every number that God made is a good number. So yeah, so that's to kind of give you some background in terms of my work history, though.
But JR, I know that now you're an entrepreneur and you're thriving. You've worked with some major companies. However, I still see you, like I bumped into you at Columbia High School. So I'm like, he working with Disney, he working with Coke, like he doing big things.
Yeah.
But your passion still exists where it exists at.
So I'll tell you though, my passion is, once again, and it's I think it's just by design that the name of the topic of our discussion is the underdog, because my passion is truly for the individual that cannot go and get the resources that they may need immediately. I tell people also, I'm the connect. There's nothing that you can name. There's nothing that you can name that I can't go out and connect you with. There's no resource that any of my clients have ever asked that I couldn't go and get. And so I pride myself on good relationships, like such as yourself. You know what I'm saying? And when we met each other, we didn't meet each other in an attempt to gain from each other. And we never knew that we would even be on the phone this day together. But we were just cordial, and we treated each other with respect. And so almost 10 years later, more than 10 years later, now it's over 10 years. Wow. Over 10 years later, shoot, we can pick up the phone and call each other and say, hey, jump on the phone. I want you to jump on the phone. Because, and this is just an example. I also tell people that your network determines your net worth. If you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And so if I see your friends and you surround yourself with people that are like-minded, you can pick up the phone and call them and get resources because you planted good seeds. You know what I'm saying? So you planted a good seed. The average person can't pick up the phone and say, jump on a 7:30 call without saying, hey, $5,000.
Right.
Just for real.
Literally.
Like honestly, I need a check.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, though, we can do that with our friends and with our network, because we understand that I understand that you're doing some great work, right? And so I understand also that there is somebody listening on this call that was purpose for me to be on the call and for them to hear the words that I'm saying. I'll tell you something. Jeremy Anderson, actually, he's a speaker, and I'm doing this DeKalb Virtual Career Academy. And so I actually got him to come and speak, and he spoke to my, I think we have about 750 young people that are participating in DeKalb County with a career academy. Michael Thurman, who's the CEO of DeKalb, is one of his projects. And Jeremy Anderson came and spoke, and I remember reading in the chat box, one of the interns asked him the question, what do you do when you have no more hope? So you have a person that's on a computer, no telling where he or she is, right? No telling where he or she is about to do, take a pill, shoot themselves, do whatever. There's no telling. And then when you allow yourself to be used, there is no telling who's on the other end that's purpose for you to talk to and for them to hear you and for you to be the solution to their issues. I really, really feel in my spirit that there is always an individual on the other end somewhere that I'm looking for. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for the underdog out there that's about to quit, that that the individual that think that you can't do whatever it is that you wanted to do. I'm looking for the individual that lost your job because of COVID-19. I'm looking for also the individual that said, you know something, because of COVID-19, when we come back to normal, which I don't know if that's even a word anymore, but whenever the world opened back up and we visit our new norm, there are some people out there that God has placed on your heart to put together some type of organization, some type of for-profit business to address the needs of the community, because we have new needs now. This
Amen.
whole sense of virtual, being on a computer, this is for the rest of our lives. We won't, the children will go back to school. That's going to happen. But conferences are going to happen on a computer. Meetings are going to happen on a computer. There's going to be so much that's going to happen on a computer. The way that people clean up facilities are totally different. So if you have a cleaning business, make sure that you get the newest equipment that'll address COVID-19. There's some type of steamer that's out there, right? And it costs. So I'm on the board of directors at a beauty school. And it's a small beauty school, Beaver Beauty Academy. Dr. Melanie Beaver is the founder. And so it cost about $1,000. This is not a cleaning, to just put this mist in the air to protect the air for 30 days. So I challenge anybody out there that you looking for something and you don't mind cleaning is going to be a huge need when these schools open back up, because they're not going to, a lot of people, not daycares, you have daycares out there that are private facilities, you have private schools, and those are needs that I feel like we can address. So
Right now, y'all heard the nugget. So if anybody out there looking, you got on this morning and it's in your spirit, you're like, what's that business? He just dropped it. So do your research, because I did hear him say that. Do your due diligence first.
definitely.
Get you a mentor, because there are going to be some needs as we get ready, some different needs as we get ready to transition. And we talked a little bit yesterday about that virtual gap. And I'm excited about partnering with you as you go into that. So that's going to be a great thing. And anything I can ever do to help you, you know, I'm going to be all in, because I appreciate your time. And I want you guys to understand, JR said some very critical things regarding relationships, regarding sowing seeds, sowing good seed, not just seed, but sowing good seed, so that you can be able to reach out and be the connect. You can be the plug. You can call the plug, because guess what? I have stood on this and you knew me to be a positive person. So this morning, guys, we're going to wrap up. I'm going to tell my brother I love you. I appreciate you. And can you leave us with any parting words? And I'm going to drop the mic on it after you're done.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to leave with a story, and I'll leave you with this. So about 10 years ago, I purchased a 1965 C10 Chevy, and it was a classic vehicle, and I paid $100 for this vehicle. And the reason why I paid $100 for this vehicle is because the person who the vehicle belonged to, they were actually moving, and they had actually already moved. And so I saw the car, I found out the person, I called them, they were in California. I sent them $100. They sent me the title. And so last year, I actually, my father and I, we have a body shop, right? And so last year, we had to move the body shop to a different facility, to a different place. And I had to sell the car. The very first thing I did was called Title Pond. And when I called the Title Pond told me we'll give you $500 for the vehicle. I talked to my dad. My dad said, "Nah, don't take $500 for it." I'm like, "Man, I'm not doing anything with this vehicle." He said, "Well, don't take $500 for it. You need to do your research. You need to make sure that you figure out." So I actually put it out there and I advertised. And so I had an individual to drive by, and he told me, he said, "Man, I give you $1,500 for it." I was like, "Wow, okay, I paid $100 for it." And then my dad told me, "No, don't do it." So I waited. I ended up getting almost $10,000 for that truck. And I tell you this, right? I leave you with this. If you don't know anything else, know your value. Know your value. And the thing about your value, Facebook, that you got to understand is your value isn't the same everywhere. Listen to me. Your value is not the same everywhere, because there are going to be people that come into your life that don't value you. And those people, if they don't add positive things to your life, if they don't add assets to your life, then they're taken away from your life. So they don't value you. You need to go somewhere else where you value. And what you'll understand in life, when you start hanging around people that value you, you'll start to value yourself. And when you start to value yourself, then guess what? You don't have anything else to worry about, because as long as you got a relationship with you and you love you and you understand you love him and he love you, then you'll never have anything. You'll never have need for anything. So all of my Facebookers, all of the individuals that come and that listen to Freedom by Design, everybody that listen to Dr. Flukas every day, every Wednesday, understand this. If you know your value, then she can elevate you a lot easier. Because it's a lot easier to help an individual that understand where they are and who they are, and not only who they are, but whose they are. So I encourage you, Facebook, to do this. If you don't do anything else that I instructed you to do today, know your value. Know your value. I am JR Henderson. I thank you for those individuals that are on. I challenge you to follow me. If you need any assistance with your business, you can talk to Dr. Flukas. She can get you my information. I am a vessel. I'm available. And I challenge you to be great, because anything less than great is not acceptable. Thank you.
I love you guys, and that we're gonna drop the mic on. I see you on Friday. God bless you. Thank you again, JR. And guys, follow JR, because he is the vessel. Bye-bye.